So everybody should be familiar with Blackboard site, right? Everybody okay? Of course, we're looking at first week in course information. And then, of course, this is where our first week quizzes and agreements. Everybody okay on that? Here's the syllabus and then the brief. Of course, the brief contains the information about when the class meets, where it meets, and of course how you can contact me, and then our alternate contacts is Mr. Sanders and Miss Allison Bush. Everybody okay? No textbooks required for the course. You need to have your digital multimedia. You need to have tape classes with side shield, wraparound shield, scientific calculator, a thumb drive, desktop, notebook, a laptop, computer with internet access, and standard tools and supplies. Everybody okay? Okay, so let's do the first week. Let's do next class. Well, the syllabus agreement is due next class, right? Which is Wednesday, and then the assignment 1 is due Friday. Okay. Then of course you already know how to log in Blackboard. Remind, are y'all okay there? I think everybody's already signed up for that, but it's a part of your syllabus quiz. So, and then do before the second class meeting, even if you're not here. We'll see who shows up. We've got 6 people in the class, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, guys, but you know, if I was in business and half my workforce showed up, I wouldn't be in business very long with it. I'll just have to talk to them a little bit. If they decide to come in, for some reason they think we don't do much on the first day, but if you ever had my classes, you know that's not true. Most of the classes I teach have a lot of information in them, and we cannot afford to take a class off, right? So the actual syllabus itself is on Blackboard. And of course this repeats this. Then of course professional competencies and objectives. Then the way we're going to be graded. So your first week of quizzes and assignments is 5% of your grade. Or basically a half a letter grade. Y'all understand that? That's a half a letter grade. 25% is for your test, 13% is for your assignments and homework, 35% for lab, 2% for having your required supplies, and the final exam is worth 100% of your grade. Basically, just like all our 3 credit hour course, we give 3 tests during the term, right? Understand? Which means we have the first test on the 5th class, and then every 4 classes after that we're going to have a test. Everybody okay with that? We're going to make any difference. We don't give makeup tests, right? Y'all understand, but we do what? We drop your lowest test score, yeah. First week, quizzes and agreements. You're used to that from my class, so I'm not going to read that. Assignments given out verbally or posted on Blackboard. And there's 6 assignments in the class if we don't add additional assignments during the term, and sometimes that pops up, right? And those are already posted on the course calendar if you look at that. Labs, you don't need a lab book. All the labs here are handed out. That's what you turned in for grading. The next class session at the last circuit, and the experiment has been signed off. I need to reword this for this class. So basically, we don't have circuits, we have problems and then procedures. So and normally people turn that in when they get through with it, so we don't have very many questions on our labs. Final exam, the final exam will be comprehensive. Y'all know what comprehensive means? All inclusive, yeah. So the final exam is all inclusive. But what we do on our 3 tests during the term is once we go over them in class, make sure there's not any problems, then I'll post those back up on Blackboard so you can use those as study guides, right? And then the final exam is just questions off the other 3 tests, the 3 tests that we have during the term. And that's all we do. We just choose so many questions. Then we put those on the final. Well, what I've done is we've added an additional assignment because I have problems with people not using those previous tests to study for the final. So I think one of the last assignments is you have to go out and take those previous tests if you want credit for the assignment. So that's one of your assignments now. Everybody knows you got to make at least C to pass the course, right? Everybody okay? Recorded lectures, everything we try to do in this class is recorded, but sometimes things go wrong, so don't depend on those completely. You're right, you understand that, but they're really, really good source of going back over that thing. Of course, we know about absences, withdrawals. We have problems with that. Just about every semester I teach, somebody will just stop coming, and they don't do what from the class. They don't withdraw, and what they end up with in the class, an F, right? People think that I will withdraw them if they stop coming. That's not true. I can't do that. So it's up to you to withdraw. You can do that on the Blackboard site, right? Lateness. When I show you the Blackboard site, there's a little button that I can enable. It's called the morning quizzes. So as long as everybody shows up for class, we won't be doing morning quizzes. If we have a problem with the class, then we'll do morning quizzes that will start at exactly 8:30. And then those count towards your grade. So technically, I cannot base your grade on attendance, but we could give tests and base your grade on the test that you missed because you're what? Late. Academic plagiarism. Now you know what plagiarism is. What's that? Claiming it as your own, right? So we have several assignments, especially safety. So one of the big things we do, since this is we try to make this what you'll probably run into in industry. Don't exactly know what industry you'd go to work in, but in the environment that we live in today, people sue everybody about everything. So there's almost no employers that I know of that don't have a safety list, right? You understand that? So a lot of that is safety. We deal with three or several categories in here because what type of things will make up an automated system?
What type of things?
Yeah, what do you think we need to know about when we troubleshoot and work on an automated system? We need to know about the components, right? You understand that? We need to know about electricity, right? Because there's very few people for test equipment. We need to learn test equipment. So we have safety procedures for electrical. There's very few automated systems that don't have gears and pulleys and chain drives and all that kind of stuff. So that's part of our system, right? Sensors, of course, we said components. And that would be your sensors and your gears, so that's what brought the pay. So so we deal basically with electrical and then of course sensors, motors. We have motors, right, that we need to understand, or have an outside view of the motor. We don't necessarily need to know exactly how it works in a troubleshooting class. All we need to know is understand what it's supposed to do. And then if it don't do what it's supposed to do, right, you understand, then we need to know what we need to try to do to get that fixed. This is what we call a system level troubleshooting class. So we teach the system. We don't teach exactly how components work, right? We teach how they're incorporated within the system. Because very few things are actually repaired anymore. I mean, components are repaired anymore. They're usually what? Replaced, and that's what we look at in this class, right? So we'll do alignments, we'll do replacing, we'll do troubleshooting, we'll learn about flow charts and sequence charts and all different types of troubleshooting aids that we should have available, or if we don't have available, we'll learn how to create them ourselves to make troubleshooting systems pretty easy, or easier. A professional decorum, we have problems with all kinds of texting, unauthorized use of the internet, sleeping in class, sitting out of turn, moving around town, unnecessary traffic in the classroom, drink. So technically, you're not supposed to eat or drink in the classroom. I don't mind you bringing water in here, but we don't eat in the classroom, right? I mean, it bothers me. People back there digging out a potato chip bag and crunching back there when I'm up here trying to lecture. So, wearing inappropriate clothing, sunglasses, hats, and earphones. We're in a troubleshooting class, guys. I know we still have pretty warm weather, but we don't allow open-toed shoes. We don't allow short pants in here. We don't allow polyester or flammable clothes in here. We require you to wear safety glasses. Our systems are not extremely loud. Normally in industry, you might be required to do ear protection. We're dealing with 24 volts DC. We're not dealing with high voltage, so we allow y'all to wear tennis shoes. Most time in industry, you got to wear at least leather shoes, right? You understand that? So we need to understand that. So we're in a low risk environment. Of course, we need to be because this is training. This is not actual work. But we're going to try to treat it like actual work. We also have a problem with what does people do when they have concerns about a course. We've had people go directly to the president of the college, and the president of the college shouldn't even be in the loop. Shouldn't even be in the loop. I know we're not supposed to talk about it. Is what? Talk to me, I'm the instructor. Same thing you're supposed to do is talk to the department, which is me. And then if we can't resolve that, then I'll talk to Nancy about that. Probably y'all might need to jump over me and talk to her. I'll ask for my classes, not for any other class. And then third, we need to, talking to the instructor department help on her help and what to go to the website. What does it say? Click on the directory page, website directory, in the main menu, and then yeah, concerning complaints. Yeah, so there's in the quick links section, there's a concerns and complaints section you can read and file a formal complaint. And then they'll get together and they'll contact you and they'll set up where you can go before the committee, and then the instructor will be there, which shouldn't be a problem because you've already talked to them, right? Harassment should be pretty straightforward. We don't do harassment. American Disabilities Act, I've had problems with this before where students won't have a disability and they want me to make special concerns, which is no problem, guys, but I can't technically do something for one student that I don't do for everybody unless it's a documented disability. So if you got a disability that requires us to make to aid you in excelling in the class or completing the class, and you need to go through Ms. Renee Herndon on this campus, and then who's the lady on the Jenny McCoy on Jones on the Birmingham campus. And then you go in, you present your documentation to them, and then they'll send me a form saying that this is what we need to do for you. And then if we do that, I can make accommodations to help you excel in the class, right? So I've had people come up and tell me, Rich, I need more time to take the test. And I say, well, really, technically, I can't do that. Or I need to take the test in a quiet environment, which is fine, but we just can't do that in these classes, right? So we could make an arrangements with other places where you could go and do that kind of stuff. So, but if you do have a disability and you need for us to accommodate you so you can excel in the class, then you need to have that officially documented. Everybody okay? Cell phone and pagers. We ought to take pagers. I don't know if anybody has pagers anymore. But we don't know of anybody that don't have cell phones. So basically, it's not actually a cell phone. It's actually a smart device, right? So it acts as a pager. So what can people do? When they call you, it usually buzzes you or something like that. So, but we need to put our cell phones on silent when you come into class, right? And guys, if your phone does ring and it's something important, you need to go back and answer it. Don't pick up your phone and start talking on class while we're in class, right? I've had people do that. Which, acceptable use policies, this basically talks about all the equipment that belongs to Lawson State. So these computers are not yours. You're more than welcome to use it. But if it asks you to save a password, what do you need to say? No, we've tried to take that feature off, but we got so many dang computers that sometimes it slips by. Say changing the background. That's not your computer. You don't need to change the background. I had one of my students that was left-handed, and every time he would come in and get on the computer, he'd switch it over to a left-handed mouse. Then what did he do? He didn't change it back, right? And then I get back, this mouse is not working. So, children on campus. Lawson State doesn't allow children on campus for obvious reasons. For one thing, when you pay your tuition, part of your tuition is an on-campus insurance, right? You understand that? If you bring kids on campus and something happens, that they are not covered, right? You understand that? Some things down here, notes. If you begin following this course, you must make a appointment with the instructor. See if we can work something out. A lot of your mini-term classes, it's real hard to do things, especially when I have 5 office hours a week, right? You understand that? So it'd be real hard for us to do makeup labs and stuff like that. But sometimes we can add additional assignments. Of course, if we do that to help your grade, we have to make them available to everybody, right? Another problem we have is people just leaving the classes without letting the instructor know that they're left. I have never taught a class where somebody just don't get up and leave. And then it's up to me to figure out, not only is that hurt us on our being accurate with my roles, it also could cause a safety concern, right? So if you get up and leave and something happens and I don't know you're gone, especially in PLCs, because we got all those big old desks, right? You understand? And we have a fire drill or something like that, and we go out, and all of a sudden you're not there, then what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to send somebody back in the building looking for you, right? So we're putting somebody else in danger because you didn't inform me. Plus, I call roll at the front of class, and this happened last semester. I tell people, once I do roll, and I know all y'all guys, so I don't call roll, I do roll, right? You understand that? I'm through with roll. So if you're not here, I put an A there. You could come walking in, I can look right at you, I can answer questions, and I don't think about going getting you back on roll. And I've had this happen. Well, I wasn't absent in that class. Right? You understand that? You didn't what? You didn't come up and let me know you were here, right? You understand that? So that's pretty important too, especially when financial aid comes into play. We don't allow profanity in my classrooms. Everybody okay? I don't know about other teachers, but that guy, he was pretty high up, and he used a lot of profanity. To me, if you use a lot of profanity, it just shows you how uneducated you are, in my opinion. Right? You understand that? So, I wouldn't hire anybody that uses a bunch of profanity, I guarantee you, because it just means they got problems, right? Okay, any questions on the syllabus? So you got a quiz on this. When's it due? No, the syllabus quiz is due by Friday, right? Everybody okay? And then the syllabus agreement is due when? Wednesday. Everybody okay? Blackboard site is pretty straightforward. This is our course calendar. So we pretty much well have an assignment due almost every week, except for weeks of tests. Normally I don't like to do assignments on these. So here we have two assignments due, but one of them is sending the email, which is not very hard, right? This is test one, so we usually won't have, so normally we have assignments due every Friday except for test week. Except for the last test. So we have a break. Y'all have the whole week of Thanksgiving off, right? The college will be open on the 19th, 20th, and 21st, so if you need, offices will be open. We won't be here because we'll be in professional development. But the college would actually be closed on the 22nd and 23rd, so y'all can't do anything there, right? That makes sense? And then you do have a course survey before the third test. And then for the final exam, you have to have all the previous tests. It shouldn't be a big deal because you should have done it. You don't have to do them before the final. You just got to do them before the final here, right? So the best thing to do would be what? When we take test one, go ahead and go back and review it, right? Everybody okay? And we've only got one class between test 3 and the final exam. The previous test you can take as many times as you want. If it won't let you do it, what do you need to do? Send me an email and let me know, right? Huh? Yeah, because there's so many, when I set up a test, there's a lot of options I have to select. So, I do a lot of them, and sometimes I forget one of them. And one of them, by default, is not to let you take the test more than once. And that's the default, which means that's what it uses if I don't change it, right? So you can come in here on this Friday and do all the other 2 tests. You can do it multiple times. And between here and here, all you'll have to do is go back and review test 3, right? That makes sense? Okay, and then, of course, spring break. You can see y'all have a really long, Christmas break. Y'all have a real long break there before the spring semester starts. I think Christine's graduating though, so you don't have to worry about it. Not unless she just wants to come back and take other classes. So this course calendar, y'all okay there? Here's the assignments. So complete all your topic quizzes and everything before Friday. Assignment 2 is to send me email. Assignment 3 is to set up a set of 10 electrical safety rules. Assignment 4 is I need to go back and look at that. Assignment 5 is, it's not supposed to be. It's just that I copied this down to here because everything changed but the assignment number. So I need to go back to the previous term and see what it's supposed to say. Assignment, this assignment's not giving a number because it's going to move around on the other assignment. But before test 3, you need to come out and do the course survey. Test 6 is to take all 3 tests, test 7. And that will be based on your average score on those 3 tests. 5 people go out there and just to try to get the assignment out of the way, they'll do them and they'll be making 10 on each one of them, right? You understand? They'll open them up and ask one question and submit it. So the way this 50 points is awarded, it's an average on the 3 tests. So to get this 50 points on assignments, if you make real low on another test, you should do what? Go back and redo it, right? Till you make a pretty good grade. Course content. This is where we're at. So we don't have a textbook in this class, right? You understand. So a lot of your information will come from the internet and also from all the different slides that we're going to go over during the term. So all the slides are posted up here, right? Everybody okay? And then your notes. You need to take notes, right? You understand? So you see the first thing we're going to look at is what? Safety, and then lockout, tag out. And this is where most of the stuff is. Handouts. So these are all handouts. Lab procedures, which I'll look at. Glossary. So we're going to learn a lot of terms in here, right? You understand that about different disciplines. So we have a glossary of terms up here. So this would be where you would go. So when I give you the test review, it'll say you need to know the meanings of these terms. So this would be the place you would go to find those if you didn't know that, right? Everybody okay? Recorded lectures. There should be links in here for the recorded lectures. It's probably still got the last time that we taught the class. So I'll move these into last semester. That works out in case something happens and it doesn't upload or something happens. That happens every once in a while where I'll try to upload it and it says it's corrupted. So what we'll do, I'll get something silly. But I'll move these over to previous semester, and that way, if we do have one, then there should be one that was previously recorded, right? Tests, this is where we'll go take tests. This is what you'll use to email me. Blackboard help, and these are Lawson State links now. So right there at the very bottom is what? E-withdrawal. So they've added that, so you don't have to go to the quick link section. Report student concerns, so I should take it out of the syllabus that tells you to go all the way through there, because you can actually submit your course returns from within Blackboard, right? So these are all Lawson State links. Everybody okay? So that's the Blackboard sites. I've got any questions there? My Blackboard sites are pretty much the same. All the stuff down here has been added, I think the last, 2 terms. Y'all should have seen these. Everybody okay?